Good morning, students. This is Murlidhar, lecturer in chemistry. So far, we have studied alkanes topic in organic chemistry. Past 5 days back, we started hydrocarbons. In that, we completed alkanes topic. Today, I would like to explain second topic of hydrocarbons, that is alkenes. Alkenes. I am going to explain alkenes. See, students, actually alkenes are the hydrocarbons, no doubt. Hydrocarbons means organic compounds contain homoatoms. Those are carbon and hydrogen atoms. That means combination of carbon and hydrogen are called hydrocarbons. Here, hydrocarbons which contains hydrocarbons which contain double bond in them, or double bond as a functional group, are called alkenes. Please you write down, copy down. Unsaturated hydrocarbons, contain C double bond C as a functional group. Of course, sometimes it may call functional group or suffix or whatever it may be, but the specific thing is here unsaturated hydrocarbons containing double bond. Unsaturated hydrocarbons contain C double bond C as a functional group are called alkenes. This is the definition. Then second one, see, alkenes. In other words, we call as olefins. Alkenes, in other words, we call as olefins. Why we call olefins means alkenes are having the ability to form oil type compounds. In Latin language, olefins means oli means oil, effins means nature or forming. Oil forming nature is called olefins. That's why one more name for alkenes are olefins. So write down alkenes are also called olefins. See here, oli means oil. Oli means oil. Effins means ethylene. So, due to the oil forming nature, alkenes are also called olefins. Then third point, their general formula, alkenes general formula, GF, their general formula is Cn H2n plus 2 ORR R bond CH double bond CH2. Anyone we can use. Here the condition is N is equal to 2, 3, 4. You substitute N is equal to 3, 4. You are going to get different types of alkenes. Here other general formula we use. This is R bond CH double bond CH2. Here R is equal to alkyl group H comma alkyl groups. Strictly R is equal to alkyl groups. See here, let me explain. You substitute N is equal to, you are getting C2H4. So name of this compound is ethyl. Common name is ethylene. Common name is ethylene. Common name is ethylene. Already we studied nomenclature of organic compounds. You might have well known. See, this C2H4, you write like this: CH2 double bond CH. Simple. For example, you substitute N is equal to 3, you are getting what? C3. Sorry, general formula of alkene is CnH2n. CnH2n. That's why you are getting C2H4. See, N is equal to 3, you can take N is equal to 3, you are getting compound C3H6. This is called what? Propene or propylene. Common name is propylene. So I am writing expansion structure like this: CH3, CH double bond CH. Okay, this is the complete expansion structure. This is a condensed formula. Just you can expand the condensed formula like this. Now you observe CH double bond CH2 is common. Here CH3 means alkyl group. Instead of alkyl, in case of propene, you can take methyl. That thing you remember. Okay. Then one more point I am telling you. You write down root word for alkenes. For alkenes, root word is alk. Suffix is in IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemist. IUPAC name. Just you can add 2. Alk plus in is equal to alk. Students, you copy down all those points step by step. You should maintain running notes. This is a mandate to all of you. Then only you get the perfection in case of organic. Because what I am saying, number of times I told you, understanding of organic chemistry is so simple, but remembering is very hard. Because the subject itself it is having memory loss. So you go on read and write, get the perfection, particularly in case of organic. But this is not happening in inorganic and physical. Okay. Then fifth point, of course, IUPAC name is alkene, but there is another common name, Cl, common name is called alkyl. That's why ethene is also called ethylene, and propene is also called propylene. For example, after propane, 4-carbon alkene is possible. That is butene. Common name of butene is butylene. But regarding first year chemistry, in intermediate first year chemistry, we gave more importance to IUPAC name rather than common name. But in second year, we will give importance to common name as well as IUPAC. But in first year, just you have to concentrate on IUPAC. Okay. Then next point. See, in alkenes, especially you can take ethylene, especially ethene or ethylene, undergo sp2 hybridization. Undergo sp2 hybridization. This sp2 hybridization carbon, sp2 carbons, we call as sp2 carbons, we call as olefinic carbons. Olefinic, olefinic carbons. This term you have to remember, please. Do remember, very important. In alkenes, especially ethylene, we are looking hybridization in case of ethylene. Here, what happened? Undergo hybridization with triangular shape, with triangular shape, in which bond angle BA, bond angle is 120 degrees. Bond angle is 120 degrees. Just I am explaining very clearly. See, look at the board. See, just now we wrote ethylene formula. What is that? C2H4. I am writing ethylene like this. C2H4. This is ethylene, structure of ethylene. See, the double bond, the carbon atoms which are joined by double bond. These are called olefinic carbons. You remember this? This is olefinic carbon. Olefinic carbon. Okay. Here also, this is also olefinic carbon. No doubt this. This is also olefinic carbon. For example, I am writing compound like this. What is this? Propylene or propene, CH3, CH double bond CH2. Here olefinic carbons means these two are olefinic, but this is not olefinic. Olefinic means carbons which are joined by double bond. Okay, that thing you remember. Double bonded carbon atoms are olefinic carbon. For example, this is olefinic carbon. So olefinic carbon undergo which hybridization? sp2 hybridization. Just now we wrote sp2 hybridization. Why it is sp2? Here it is sigma, sigma, sigma. Another bond is pi bond. While calculating hybridization, just you can account number of sigma bonds around carbon. How many sigma bonds are present around carbon? 3 sigma bonds are there. 3 sigma means 3 orbitals. 1 s orbital, 2 p orbitals. That's why hybridization is sp2 hybridization. Okay. Then shape is, what is the shape? Ethylene shape, triangular shape. Triangular shape. And bond angle is 120 degrees. 120 degrees. Please, you copy down this. Bond angle is 120 degrees. Then 6th point, I will explain here 6th point. C double bond C, bond length 1.34 angstroms. 1.34 angstroms. The same way, bond energy nearly 147 to 149 kilocalories per mole. 147 to 149 kilocalories per mole. I think it is very easy to remember, because whenever you want to break the sigma bond, we need 80 kilocalories. If you want to break the pi bond, we need 60 kilocalories per mole. For example, C triple bond C. How much bond energy is required to break the triple bond means 1 sigma need 80 kilocalories per mole. 80 kilocalories per mole. 2 pi bonds, 260, 120. 120 plus 80, 200 kilocalories per mole energy required to break triple bond, C triple bonds. Particularly, C triple bond C compounds are nothing but what? Alkynes. Okay. Like that, you remember this. Okay, next point. Next point I am writing here. See, we can distinguish. We can distinguish unsaturated, unsaturated, unsaturated. That means maybe unsaturated maybe alkenes or alkanes. Of course, we are studying only alkenes. The next following topic is alkanes. Because one thing you remember, the major difference in between alkenes and alkanes, the main difference. In case of alkenes, we have double bond, unsaturated double bond. In case of alkanes, we have triple bond, C triple bond C. Those are also unsaturation. That's why the chemistry of alkenes correlated with properties are similar to alkanes. The main difference is only double and triple. For example, alkenes undergo addition reaction. In the same way, alkynes undergo addition reaction. But here in the case of alkenes, it undergo one step addition. In case of alkynes, what happens? They can undergo addition, but in two steps, because triple bond becomes double bond, and again double bond becomes single bond. That's it. The main difference. Of course, the chemistry of alkenes and alkynes almost similar. Okay. See, we can distinguish unsaturated, maybe alkenes, alkynes, from saturated compounds. From saturated means Sc compounds, saturated compounds like alkanes, by conducting following test, by conducting below test, following test in lab. In lab. Those tests we call as unsaturation test. Have you completed, students? Please write down quickly. I want to review this. See, these tests are called what? Test for unsaturation, oftenly conducted in laboratory while doing the organic practicals in PG level, in degree level, graduation level. Test for unsaturation. See, the main test to identify unsaturation, particularly unsaturation alkenes, maybe alkynes. The test is Bayer's reagent test. Bayer's reagent test. That test we call as Bayer's reagent test. Okay. See, alkenes discharge. Alkenes discharge color of particularly which color? That is pink color. Pink color of Bayer's reagent. Br. I write shortcut. Pink color of Bayer's reagent. Actually, do remember what is Bayer's reagent? Cold, alkaline, potassium permanganate solution. AMNO4 solution. This is called what? Bayer's reagent. Bayer is a scientist who used the cold and alkaline KMNO4 solution for testing the unsaturation at that time. That's why this reagent we call as Bayer's reagent. This chemical we call as Bayer's reagent, which is in pink color. While reacting with alkenes, what happens? Alkenes discharge the color of Bayer's reagent to colorless. By this, you can identify alkenes and alkynes in laboratory from alkenes. Simply, for example, in examiner or of course in entrance, examiner submitted two compounds. One is A organic compound and another one is B organic compound. I give you A organic compound, B organic compound. In between these two, one is unsaturated one, maybe alkene and alkyne. How to identify it? The particular one is unsaturated. It's a very simple. Just by doing the base test. Just you can add the cold and alkaline potassium permanganate solution to the A compound to the B compound solution. Just you heat them Which one color disappears? That confirms the unsaturated molecule. For example, A discharge the color, A is unsaturated. If not, B discharge the color, B is unsaturated. Maybe alkene or alkene, whatever it is. So from this, we can understand the unsaturation present in alkenes and alkynes. That is test of Bayes. See, very important in entrance. So many times, exam are asked, what is the composition of Bayes reagent? Cold, alkaline. Alkaline in the sense basic solution. KMnO4 solution. All of you can know potassium permanganate solution. Here see alkenes on reaction with Bayes reagent. Here what happens? Glycols are resulted. Glycols. These are colorless. Compounds. Bayes reagent is pink color. Just at this stage, just you have to remember theoretically. Okay. In coming class, I will explain along with reaction. I will explain reaction with mechanism also. Just wait. Just at this stage, you remember this. This is enough at this stage because I give you introduction of all. It's not all. Just we are discussing introduction. Okay. Then second, bromine water solution. Bromine water test. Bromine water test. Here also the same case. What happens? Unsaturated alkenes or alkynes, whatever it may be. You are studying alkenes. That's why we gave more importance to alkenes. Alkenes discharge. Brown yellow color, almost brown yellow color of bromine solution. Okay, this confirms unsaturation. Unsaturation of alkenes. Okay, that's all. For example, let us you take alkene. All of you can know general formula alkene. You take what? Bromine water solution, Br2, in presence of aqueous media. Here you are getting R, CH, double bond becomes C, single bond. This is CS2, Br. Trans dibromo alkane you are getting. This is nothing but colorless. But the reagent itself it is having yellow color, brownish yellow. Actually, these two are practical reactions already conducted in your graduation level and your post-graduation level. But here theoretical reactions we have in your intermediate first year level. Of course, it is very important in examination entrance point of view, like NEET exams, IIT mains, all these reactions will come. Of course, it's a complicated thing also. Please you copy down, students. Okay. The next following point we are discussing eighth point for completing unsaturation test. That is 7. Then following point is 8. 8 point. 8 point. Generally, alkenes undergo addition reaction. In last class, past 5 days onwards, we discuss alkanes. Those are saturated compounds, hydrocarbons, saturated carbons. All are having single bonds. So they undergo, their stability is also more. They undergo some reactions under drastic conditions. Particularly, alkanes undergo substitution type reactions. Strictly speaking, radical substitution. They have to follow radical substitution, alkanes. But come to alkanes, these are unsaturated compounds, nothing but double bonded compounds. Here, unsaturated compounds in general undergo addition. And also I explained very clearly at the first stage of organic chemistry introduction. There we discussed types of organic reactions, substitution reactions, addition reactions, elimination reactions, rearrangement reactions, even though polymerization reaction, all those things we discussed in earlier. And also we can study electronic effects. What we study, those are inductive effect, inductive effect, mesomeric effect, hyperconjugation effect. All those introduction part we finished. So it is very easy to understand and well known to all of you. So you write down generally alkenes undergo addition reactions. In addition reaction, what happens? Double bond becomes single bond. That's the addition reaction. So here generally alkenes undergo addition. That too very important thing. Electrophilic addition. Which addition? Alkenes leads to which addition? Electrophilic addition. It is entrance point. You remember. And most of the electrophilic addition reactions, 90%, more than 90% electrophilic addition reaction, trans-addition reactions. That is also keep in your mind. Very few are cis, you don't bother about. Very, very few are cis. Most of the addition reactions are trans. That's why you can write. What is that? Generally, alkenes undergo or participated undergo trans electrophilic addition. Trans electrophilic addition reactions are mechanism, whatever addition reactions are mechanism. This is very important. Please you note down. Please you got it. The next following point we are going to discuss. Next following point, 91. Alkenes are more reactive. Than alkenes. Even than alkynes also. Even than alkenes and alkynes. Here there is a doubt. People have doubt at this stage. I will explain very clearly. So what I am saying, what I did here, regarding alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, alkenes are more reactive because those are highly unstable. Whenever compound is unstable, that is more reactive. Alkenes are unstable because unsaturation, in it unsaturation, in them unsaturation. So unstable, so more reactive than alkenes. But those are more reactive than alkynes also. Here there is a doubt, there is a confusion. Student may raise the question here. In case of alkynes, more unsaturation is present when compared with alkenes. So theoretically, we come to conclusion that alkynes are more reactive than alkenes, than alkenes. This is order. But there is an exceptional thing. Here alkenes are more reactive. Contradiction point. Alkenes are more reactive than alkynes, than alkenes. So I am writing here order. See. Alkenes, that means C double bond C compounds. Alkenes more reactive than alkynes. You know C triple bond C compound. Then corresponding alkynes. Of course, alkanes are stable compounds. All single bonds are there. These are stable. That's why having S here. Here you mentioned because there is a bikish student in classroom, so you write clearly to avoid confusion. Order of decreasing order, particularly which order it is? Decreasing order of reactivity. Decreasing order of reactivity. That means reactivity decreases from alkenes to alkanes. That means these are more reactive. More reactive means less stable. More reactive means less stable. Here alkanes are less reactive. less reactive, almost inert. Alkanes almost inert to the chemical reaction, towards chemical reaction, almost inert. If they can participate in reaction under drastic conditions, under special conditions, I think I explained it under alkane chapter very clearly. So these are less reactive, very less reactive. So more stable due to saturation. All are sigma bonds. All are sigma bonds. Here 2 pi bonds, here 1 pi bond. Here, student confusion. What is the confusion here? Regarding alkenes and alkynes, but typically there is unsaturation in the heavy here, high here. That's why these are more reactive than alkenes. No. Though unsaturation is more in case of alkynes, no doubt. But alkenes are more reactive because the double bond open up at low temperature with low bond dissociation energy. If you want to open the triple bond, break up the triple bond in chemical reaction, we require high dissociation energy, high bond energy. That's why alkenes are more reactive. This thing you are. Regarding IUPAC, I explained there. While naming the organic compound, you have to allot the numbering. Allot the numbering. The compound whose contain double bond and triple bond, you can give more priority top bond to double bond, followed by triple bond. Because reactivity is heavy, reactivity is high when compared with alkynes. That's why you give more importance to alkenes. So the chemistry of alkenes, heavy when compared with alkynes. When compared with alkynes. So here the chemistry of alkenes is vast. A wide reactions we have in case of alkenes when compared with alkynes. Because reactivity is more. That's why more number of reactions we have in our chemistry. Next point. 10th point I am telling you, I am explaining. See the stability of alkynes increases with increase of branches, their branches these branches have more number of alpha hydrogens, which in turn gave more hyperconjugated resonating structures. Students, see, listen carefully. This is very important point. I think in our coming entrance, there is a scope to get bit from this region. There is a scope to crack the bit from this region. Remember. See what I am saying here. Stability of alkynes increases with increase of their branches. First, we see that stability of alkynes increases with increase of their branches. That means, see, I am writing here CH2 double bond CH2, CH3 CH2 double bond CH2, CH3 CH2 CH double bond CH2. See here, I am writing as I am submitting here three types of alkenes. See this structure 1, structure 2, you label as structure 3. Which one is more stable? So Just you compare these two. This ethylene, here this is substituted ethylene. That means here methyl is there. Methyl is there. That means branches is there. Okay. So whenever branches increases, stability increases. Just now I said, we wrote here, see, stability of alkanes increases with increase of their branches. That thing you remember? Okay. That's why here stability increases. Students, I want to delete this. Have you completed? Entire what we are discussing now, this is completely introduction part of alkenes. Introduction part of alkenes. We should not go through into our actual syllabus. Just at this stage, at this first stage, today first class, I gave you only, I explained only introduction part of alkenes. See here, stability. Stability, what happens? From first to third, stability increases. Stability increases. Increases. Why? Due to branches increases. Number of branches increases or branches increases. Simply write branches increases. Okay. Now I will submit another compound C. CH3 CH2 CH double bond CH2. You know this is one beauty. See, listen carefully. You are the first year intermediate students. You have little mind and little strength to understand, but the subject is very heavy and vast organic chemistry and tough to understand, tough to remember. Everything is very typical. So be alert in class. See, this is one beauty. CH3 CH double bond CH double bond CH3. This is two beauty. Two beauty. Here, which one is stable? Here, there is a important point to remember. This is a olefinic carbon, you know, the specific carbon. The carbon which is presented to the specific carbon. That means the carbon which is presented to the specific carbon means the carbon which is next to specific carbon. This one. Here, this is specific olefinic carbon. Here, the carbon which is attached to specific carbon. That means carbon present next to the specific carbon, directly next to the specific carbon is termed as alpha carbon. That's the remember. Alpha. Alpha carbon. This is the alpha carbon. Nothing but these three are alpha hydrogen. These three are alpha hydrogen. 2-butene contains how many alpha hydrogen? 6 alpha hydrogen. This thing you remember. 6 alpha hydrogen. Come to one beauty. Come to one beauty. Here the specific carbon is olefinic carbon is this one. Next to olefinic carbon is alpha carbon. Just now I said. Here how many alpha hydrogens are there? 2 alpha hydrogens. So in our statement just now we have written what stability increases with increase of branches, no doubt, and also branches which are having more number of alpha hydrogens. Among these structure 1 and 2, in between these two, which one contains more number of alpha hydrogens? 2-butene contains more number of alpha hydrogens. So that's why it is stable. That's why it is stable. Okay, why? Because when it contains more number of alpha hydrogens, there is possible to exhibit hyperconjugation, more number of hyperconjugation. Here, 6 resonance forms are possible. Then compare with 1 bit. Here only resonance forms, 2 hyperconjugated RF, 2 RF resonance forms. Here is the case 6 RF. So the compound whose contain more resonated structure is stable than less resonated compound. That thing you remember. Okay. I give you another important point because all the students are preparing NEET level. That's why I give you different At introduction part, we will study in depth at introduction part. Even it is in the introduction part, whatever it may be, but we go through in depth. Okay, I'm explaining. See, I am writing another one, very important. CH3, CH3, CH, CH, double bond C, CH3H. I am writing another one here, CH3, CH3, H, H. Yeah, these two are 2 butene, no doubt. 2 butene. Both are having same structure, no difference, same structure. But the spatial arrangement is different. Nothing but geometrical isomers. This is a second type of isomerism, stereoisomerism. Nothing but geometrical isomerism. Here methyl groups present on the same side, nearby with each other. So it is cis 2 butene. Often it is cis butene. This is trans 2 butene. Trans 2 butene. Among them are in between 1 and 2. In between 1 and 2. Which one is more stable? Trans 2 butene is more stable. Trans 2 butene is more stable. Always you remember trans compounds stable than cis due to less repulsions. Due to less repulsions. This point you regard. This point you got. Trans stable, any trans compound is stable than cis compounds due to less repulsions. Here repulsions are very less. That's why it is more stable than cis one. Okay. And lastly, I give you a beautiful example about stability of alkenes. That is, let us you take CH3CH double bond C CH3 H. This is trans, trans 2 butene. Okay. Here I am writing compound. Please, students, observe this. CH3, CCH3, CH2. This is also butene. This is called isobutene or isobutylene. Whatever it may be, common name is isobutylene. In between trans 2-butene and isobutylene, in between these two, which one is more stable? You remember, isobutylene is more stable. This is very, very complicated bit, and also there is more probability to get the such type of complicated bits in NEET and IIT exams. So therefore, you remember, and you should practice out number of times. But every student has got a doubt here. Why isobutylene is stable than trans 2-butene? Means isobutylene contains low combustion of heat and energy and low heat of hydrogenation. That is the reason why isobutylene is stable than trans 2-butene. So I write here is copy down is a key point. Key point. Strictly or strongly, I say is a bullet point. Here is the case isobutylene has low heat of combustion, and also low heat of hydrogenation. Therefore, it is stable. Even trans 2. So you might have remember, students, I give you one relation. Just you keep in mind. Just now what I am saying, keep in your mind. Without any confusion, you should attempt. whatever it may be, you should attempt easily get the marks. See, compound combustion, heat of combustion or heat of hydrogenation, heat of hydrogenation. See, what do you mean by heat of combustion and heat of hydrogenation? Is very simple the terminology to understand. On combustion, there is a liberation of heat, that is called heat of combustion. Combustion means the process of burning of an organic compound in presence of excess air. The process of burning of an organic compound in presence of excess air is called combustion. During the process of combustion, there is a liberation of energy or heat, that is called heat of combustion. Okay, so the compound whose contain low heat of combustion is more stable. If it contains more heat of combustion or hydrogenation, that is less stable. So what is the relation in between combustion and stability? You write this. Then you easily pick up the bit, easily crack the bit, grab the bit in even it may be any entrance, maybe NEET or maybe IIT, whatever it may be. So many times I told you students, the difference between IPA and entrance level is very simple. First of all, is the baseline is intermediate IP syllabus. Without baseline, we cannot learn anything else. So IP is level one. Always you remember, IP is level one. Level one. Compulsory, you must study IP intermediate because you can jump the IP. There is a chance to prepare, chance to become doctor, become IITian, and whatever it may be. So this is a level one. You can study some more excess than IPE, that is called research, oftenly conducted by our states, Telangana state, AP state. That is level two. That is level two, syllabus of level two. Sir, I want to prepare NEET. How can I prepare syllabus? That means you go through the level three. Level three. You can study, you can attend, you should practice level three bits. In intermediate course, you can attempt up to level three bits. That is NEET. That is more than this level two, that is IIT. That is IIT mains. IIT mains. Of course, what is IIT advanced? IIT advanced, it is nothing but no more words to define advanced. Advanced means is a application part of mains. Application part of mains. Application part of mains is advanced. So you study level one, you crack, you can jump from IPE, no doubt. You can prepare level two, definitely grab the MSET seat. You can prepare level three, just you are going to crack NEET. And more than level three, you will prepare more than, sir, I should prepare more than level four. Easy to get it, IIT mains and advanced. Okay, students, today I explained the introduction part of starting alkenes topic. The remaining part we will continue in the next class. Stop here. See you tomorrow. Bye.